In this chapter, you're going to be studying the reflexive verbs, and a few of you asked me, well, not a few of you, one student, but I'm sure this will help everybody, ask me about position of pronouns with reflexive verbs. So let's go over what the book says, and then I'll give you a little bit of explanation on it. Basically, a reflexive verb is a verb that uses a pronoun and is used to indicate that the action is done by a subject and it will reflect on the subject, him or herself. So in English, me lavo will be expressed as I wash myself. That's the pronoun you use in English. In Spanish, you don't need to add myself at the end because with this me, you're already indicating that that's an action you do to yourself. Now, these are the pronouns you use when the verb is conjugated, but when the verb is an infinitive is a verb that finishes in AR, IR, or ER, you are going to add the pronoun at the end, and it's going to be a se. So when the verb is conjugated, you will put the pronouns detached and in front of the verb, but when the verb is in an infinitive form, you will attach them to the end. So the reflexive verb is conjugated, the reflexive pronoun agrees with the subject. So that means that because you are the one to do it to yourself, the action, you are washing yourself, they will be both referring to you. So yo me lavo, tú te, usted se. See, so they are the pronouns referring to the same person. This is talking what I was telling you about the position. When a reflexive verb is conjugated, the reflexive pronoun agrees with the subject. No, sorry, this is the same I was telling you about in terms of agreement with subject and pronoun of the object. Here is position. Reflexive pronouns generally appear before a conjugated verb. This means when it has a person, yo, tú, él, lavo, lavas, lava, the pronouns are going to be detached and in front. But when the verb is part of two verbs together, the first one conjugated, the second one is an infinitive or a participle, they can be placed either before or after. They can be linked to one or the other. And I'm going to go over it a little more in a minute, but you can see the examples here. Ellos se van a vestir. So van a vestir is conjugated verb, to go to, and vestir, which is an infinitive. In here, you can decide if you want to link the pronoun to the conjugated verb, in which case you will do it like this. You will put a detached in the front. Or you can decide, like here below the first one, you can decide to add the pronoun at the end linked to the infinitive. And in that case, it will be like here, you will attach it at the end of the verb. Ellos van a vestirse. Both mean exactly the same and both are completely okay. So you can choose to do one or the other, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Same thing with past present participle. Estoy bañándome. I am taking a bath. Estoy bañándome. O ella está bañándose. And in that case, you'll need an accent mark. These are reflexive verbs that are, or verbs that are very commonly used as reflexive because they have a meaning a meaning of actions that you do to yourself or to someone does to themselves. Many of them are related to daily activities like shave, to take a bath, to brush your hair, things like that that you usually do to yourself when you wake up or when you go to bed or whatever. So position of reflexive pronouns. One, with conjugated verbs, they will go detached and in the front. So yo, me, and this is the pronoun, let's underline this. Me lavo. So I wash myself. I only want to underline. Okay, so yo me lavo, right? So conjugated means that the verb has a personal form. Me lavo, te lavas. se lava, etc. With non-conjugated verbs, and these are, for example, infinitives that finish in AR, ER, IR. For example, lavar, same. We're gonna place the pronouns attached and at the end of the verb. So, for ejemplo, lavarse, kind of repetitive, but that's what it is. 3, with combination of conjugated plus non-conjugated verbs. What do we do here? When we have a verb that is conjugated and another one that is not conjugated. So in here, we can decide what we want to do with the pronouns. So in a sentence, for example, I'm going to wash myself. Voy a lavar. What do we do with the pronouns? So we can do two things, and both are valid. One is to link to the conjugated verb, to link the pronoun to the conjugated verb. Me voy a lavar, and that's all right. This is the first case, right? And then we leave lavar alone. Or you can, and let's see how we do this. I just want it to look kind of the same. You can actually link the pronoun to the infinitive. So in that case, you will see voy a lavarme. You see, and the pronoun is here again. And this one stays by itself because it doesn't need the pronoun anymore. You're already using the reflexive meaning in the infinitive. So I'm going to wash myself, I'm going to wash myself. Both are okay, and native speakers will go between one or the other without problem. I hope this helps a little bit, and let me know if you need any other videos with things that are not quite clear, and I'll be happy to record them. Thanks, and bye-bye.